Okay, so I'm calling this my current online obsession and basically turning it into something real in my hand. I definitely have this trend, I guess, where I see something online, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or Pinterest, and suddenly I start saving it or pinning it, and I look, and then my most current board of things to make, things that I like, my wish list, all starts to look like the same thing, but like 40 different versions of the exact same thing. So my goal is to get these things out of my head, into my hand, so I can stop obsessing and actually enjoy the thing. So I've already started with this obsession, and this is kind of the idea. It's kind of a bluey color with red and white. It's something about these colors. It could even be more of a brighter blue, but like something about blue with bright red and white to me is just hitting it right now for me. So I've been trying this chicken scratch idea, all these little test things, just trying out different designs, different sizes, and I have a ton of clothes that I make and don't wear enough. But do you know who would be really cute and something like this, a little bit more sweet style, is my daughter, and she's constantly growing out of clothes. So we're gonna make her something like this. So for this, we are going to be making a little dress. Here's the pattern. I'll link it down below. I got it off Etsy. I'm pretty sure I got it for less than $10. I'm not affiliated. It's just an easy to make pattern. For this, I'm using gingham. This chicken scratch design that I showed you, it really just needs you to have square fabric. So I went for gingham. I've seen it on checkered, which is also cute, but I'm a sucker for gingham. So I'm going to do the hearts like I showed you and put them on the front, the bodice of the dress to really kind of showcase the needlework. I'm just using regular embroidery floss. We're using all 6 threads. If you are interested in following along, this isn't going to be like the most in-depth tutorial, but in case you want to make the same style of dress, I'll have it linked below, and I'm basically just following the directions and adding some extra flair to it. Let's get started. Okay, so we have all the pieces cut out. Front, back, sleeves, skirt. My little one just woke up, so pause on that. But at least we have the pieces cut out. It's a very slow process when you're trying to do it when she's asleep. But the worst part, which is cutting out all these pieces, done. Check. So this is essentially the design of the front of the dress. This is the front bodice. This is my finding center middle line there, and then designing the hearts outwards. So the circles you'll see sort of make a heart shape, and then all the circles are essentially me laying out my different pattern, if you will. Chicken scratch is just a bunch of cross stitching. So you're just doing a bunch of X's, and then you'll see I'll do an X over the top in the other direction, and then straight lines. This is the easiest way to start it, is just doing all the straight lines. And then you're going to come back in once you've done all these straight lines and crisscrossed over the top of each other. I started out with all of the red first. That was a lot easier for me and my brain to understand. And then I'll show you here, I've added the white. So then I went back and just did all of the cross stitches. And then I went around to the corners and started putting those circles in. That's where those little circles come in the marker. You're essentially connecting all of the corners there of the cross stitches. So it really starts to fill out this full design and start to actually look like a heart. Here's a little bit of a close-up, but here's the heart complete, the first one. So now we're just going to continue to stitch away. This one I'm doing a red outline with white in the middle, and I'm not doing a very good job of showing you up close what it looks like, but it's, like I said, just a ton of straight lines. And I just essentially did this whenever I had time. It was kind of a slow process, but I was just trying to fit it in while she was asleep. As you can see, the baby monitor's right in front of me there. So just keep on stitching back and forth. So this is where we're at. We've got double cross stitch. All double cross stitch is an X this way, and then diagonal. That's it. So I do all those first, and then the lines. And so any of the columns that have the double cross stitch, like the little star, get a straight across. And all the rest that are eventually gonna have circles get straight up and down lines. That's it. Like, it looks much more complicated once you're done, but it's really not. It's just a bunch of lines, which is why I like it so much. So this is what it looks like. I'm almost done. So I'm just going to finish up this last row here, and then I'll show you how I did the actual squares as I did over here. Because I didn't get much footage of that because I did that at night. But once Miss Daisy went to sleep at night, so we're just in the middle of nap time. So we're trying to get as much stitched and actually filmed and explained to you as possible when it's not super dark at night. Because normally when I do the stitching, it's like 10 o'clock at night. So here we are. This will be the front. It's huge. I did the 2 to 3 year. I know she fits into 2T right now, but like, this is gonna be big, so that's okay. She'll wear it for a long time, I guess, but that's okay. I was just looking at this going, this is huge. She's not that big, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Because you already have this here, so you have this corner, 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 and this corner. It's going to be easy to just take the white thread and go. You need the sound effects, by the way. You go through all the corners and come back to where you started it, and that's what's going to make your square. That's all I did with these. See, if you really break it down, these are all little stars. These are the single stitches. These are the double cross, and they make the little square. So it's gonna make more sense, but I need to rethread my needle and I'll start making some squares. Yes. And I'll link the I'll put the picture in here of the one that I originally saw. It's like a bunch of different colors of hearts. I know traditional chicken scratch is like all white, which is cute, and I've tried it, but I really liked this. And now that I'm looking at it, it kind of does give like Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, Tin Man needs a heart, but whatever. It's cute. That was the one I was going for, but it's cute. We're going to come out here around where this one begins. And then I just go backwards on the needle. So I use the butt end and just go through a couple of these. I'm probably covering it, which is not ideal. Again, I'm going to go through the corners here, all of those, and you're essentially just using those as how you're going to thread through the lines. Then I'm going to go, and I'm twisted, whatever. I'm going to go back through right where it was here. In theory, if it would let me, that'd be cool. Oh, I went straight into the knot. Well, and so we've got a nice little square. And that's all we're doing, all the way down where all these little circles are. I just mark them with pen with circles for my brain, because like I said, I do a lot of this late at night after Daisy's gone to bed, and my brain's just kind of like, durr. So it's easy for me to just zone out instead of like doom scrolling. I just do this and just sort of watch TV and half-ass pay attention. But if I just mark it all out, then I don't have to undo stuff. So that's why I mark them with circles. They're gonna be squares, but that way I just know, don't put a line there, don't put a line there. And yes, I have done this enough times you'd think I would still not do that, but I didn't mark all of these at first, and I put some lines. So checking in, all the way in the middle is none. Woohoo, woohoo. Yeah, the marker doesn't help it look better, not gonna lie, but ta-da. So now we're gonna go through and do the same thing with the red. We're almost done. Cha-la-la. Did this one, where is it? Right there. Now we're gonna move over and do the next one. We got a little lady here. She's already waking up. Yay, this is Melissa coming to you late at night, watching TV on the couch. All 3 hearts are done. Yay! Okay, here's a better picture of it in the light. I've rinsed out all of the washable fabric pen, so you can actually see what the hearts are going to look like. It's a little bit damp because I had to rinse it. That's why the blue looks a little bit more like navy blue, but we are finally done. We're going to let this dry, and then we can actually start putting the dress together. I am on, I don't even know, the 3rd day, maybe? I don't know. She's taking it easy. She's asleep, promise. So we have this guy done, and we have our instructions printed out. Yay, printer finally works again. I know, I should just use it on the computer, but I know I'll make this dress again, and I'm the worst at being able to read instructions. It hurts my eyes. So here we are. So I have everything printed out, everything cut out. I'm just going to follow the instructions. They even have a step in there that if you don't use the collar or don't do the collar, what step to skip ahead to. So I'm just going to start off by following the instructions because I know y'all can read. So let's see if I can figure this out. This is the first time I'm making this pattern. It looks pretty simple. But I wanted to finish this piece so that when I do the front, it's ready to rock. Okay, I'm gonna stop dawdling because the longer I talk, the more likely she is to wake up. I'm not losing my mind. Sorry, it's been a rough couple nights. I'm not yawning. You're yawning. She woke up a few times, and her new thing when she wakes up is not just I need a bottle, it's I also need you to lay there till I fall back asleep. And then that takes me from about 2:30 to about 5 a.m. It's not very good sleep you're getting on her floor, if any. So we're gonna sew. Here we go. Okay. Done the first couple steps. Back little flap here with the button. Shoulders. I'm not doing bias tape because I don't want to waste that much fabric. I have a ridiculous amount of bias tape that was passed down to me by my grandma. So I'm just going to use some straight up bias tape. If you don't have a ton of fabric, a thing of bias tape is really pretty cheap. So heads up. But I'm going to do that. That's the thing I'm changing. Just so you know. Okay, so we have the bias tape sewn in, and now we are pinning the sleeves in. I've got the sleeves sewn together on this one side and pinned in, and then this side I have the armhole, but I don't have the sleeve pinned in yet because I need to gather the sleeve up here at the top. So this is the sleeve, it needs to be gathered, so then I can pin it in. So that's kind of all of the headway I made that night. Pardon the lighting, it's like 10 o'clock at night. She's asleep, so. Okay. I got the bodice done. I pinned the sleeves in. We're inside out, so I'm going to sew those real quick. And then I tacked down the edges of the sleeves like it said to do before you put them in. So I'm going to just sew these in, and then I'll actually show you where I'm at, but basically just been following the instructions, so nothing too exciting, but we're almost there. Here we go. Okay, so we have the little bodice. I gathered the sleeves at the top where it says to make the little markings. I made the little cuff that it says to for your elastic. And then here's the back. I need to find a button big enough. I definitely made the belt or button loop too big, like too thick. That's my bad. That's going to be a little interesting trying to find a button that actually holds that shut, but get there. So this is what we have so far. I tried it on her. It's definitely big, but that's okay. It'll fit her for longer that way, right? So essentially all I have left is I need to tack down my bias tape. My bias tape is being kind of difficult. If you used your own bias binding, you probably wouldn't have that problem. I used nude, by the way. I couldn't find white, and blue would have just shown through more, so essentially all that's left is to gather the skirt and then attach it and then hem it and then find a button. So I'm probably just going to gather the skirt by hand so that I'm not constantly making more noise with the sewing machine because my sewing room is right next to her nursery. So yeah, I'm going to feed the elastic through probably tomorrow because I need to see like how big her little arm is around and then leave a little room for give for it getting bigger. I don't want it to be too tight or too loose. And then yeah, gather a skirt, hem it up. I guess I could hem it by hand. But here we are. Oh, I need to sew the side seams of the skirt first, huh? That would help. Look at me trying to get too far ahead. But we're getting real close to being done. I do like this so far. It's a pretty easy little make. And I really love the way this turned out on here. I might make another one in another color. In the size, small down, like it's the size down, so she can wear it this summer. But so far, I'm liking this little guy. It's hopefully it's reading cards. I think so. That face, I'm actually liking it. Okay, so here we are. Sewed the side seams for the skirt, pinned up the bottom to hem it. So we're one step closer, or 2 steps. That's pretty much done. I don't have the elastic at the right size because I need to try it on. And then I found a cute big wood button for the back. I'm hemming the bottom of the skirt first because I hate hemming, so I'd rather do that because then once I gather the skirt and sew it in, like it's done. So, yay! So I'm gonna pin the hem, sew in a gathering stitch because you know the drill. She's taking a nap. I probably won't gather it and sew it in. Well, we'll see how quickly she wakes up. I also need to go pick up groceries, so we shall see. I use a bajillion pins when gathering. You can't even tell where the front and center back are because, oh, maybe you can. There they are. There's the 2 pink pins. Right there. But this, I find, just it makes it so much easier. Okay. This is how it's looking. Pretty cute. So I obviously still need to fix the cuffs and do some steaming, but all in all, I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm definitely liking the hearts. And then there's the back with the little button. So cute. So here's a little bit better finished shot of the project during the daylight and a little bit better up close of the embroidery. Okay, little wrap up. Here's Miss Daisy in the dress. It is way too big, but that is fine. I absolutely love how it turned out. Super cute. I hope you like kind of exploring chicken scratch with me. I'll also link the video down below. It's the Stitchery. I love her. She's the one who got me interested in chicken scratch in the first place. So I hope, if nothing else, this kind of piqued your interest, checking out a new stitch type if you haven't before. And I hope you stick around. I'll be starting to upload a lot more often. I love making anything crafty. Just that is my happy place, and especially if I'm making it for myself, my loved ones. It's just super fun way to spend time. So hope to see you again soon. Bye. Did you just... Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you going to pick back up the... Well, you just pulled your baby monitor over. Oh. You okay? Oh. Well, is it that they're always near a planet that has oxygen, or do they just not breathe oxygen? It is in a galaxy far, far away. Maybe they breathe helium? I don't know. Maybe that whole galaxy breathes oxygen. Everywhere has oxygen. I don't know.